No, not yet. We are now live. Hey players, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh. Every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. And in this live stream, we're going to be talking all about 5 excuses that keep you chasing the crush that just won't date you. This is someone that you want to be with, but for some reason, things just haven't worked out. You haven't found the right way to ask them out. You think that they only view you as a friend. You're not sure why you like them, but you're just drawn to them in some ways. So I want to kind of cover the 5 different excuses people kind of use to kind of condone their own behavior that's preventing them from moving on and keeps them focused on just one particular crush that they just can't get over. Before I get into those 5 points, I want to give shout outs to all the early birds here in the chat. So if you're someone that's jumping in here in the chat, guys, make sure to jump into the chat right now. Say hey so I can give you your shout out. Let's see, is this working? Yes, it is working. Cool. Hit the like button if you haven't already, but let's see who we got in the chat here. Let's see. Rage Master, good to see you. Hamish, Yancey Cobian, Jalen's in here. Dan Animations, Devu, Cheesy, let's see. Alexander Cole, Ellie Amazing Taylor, I Want to Destroy Generic Lifts, Nil Vovk, I don't know if I can say that right. Brie Ladouchiere, a pizza with 1,000 subscribers. That's a lot of subscribers for one pizza. Utopian Dystopia, that's a cool name. Anthony Quento, good to see you, man. Scott is in here. LOL Animal Crew, Dan Animations that said, fight to the death. GN8706. Stewart is in here. Speedy Mr. N. Andrew Dominguez. Haley Davidson. Haley, good to see you. Let's see who we got. Trinity the Monkey, Greek Soldiers, Raphael, Uloa, Bean is in here. Good to see you, Emma. Let's see. Nick Hill, Seth J. Oh man, this chat's going so fast. Lucas Zygon, Speedy Mr. M. Good to see all of you guys in here. To anyone else that I didn't get to shout out, that's okay. I love jumping in the chat and answering you guys' questions. So if you guys have questions, now as I walk through these 5 points, if you guys have burning questions, these are things that are on your mind that you want to talk to me about. Now that you have me live, you have a question you want to ask me, I'm here and I will stop what I'm talking about and I will answer your question directly. Hold on, my nose itches. I was sneezing literally right before I hit went live, and my eyes were all red because I'm like, man. All right, Grayson, good to see you, man. So like I said, use the super chat if you want to drop a burning question. That's something that's on your mind that you want my opinion on right now. I'll stop what I'm talking about and I will answer your question. That's what I use the super chat function for. But I want to kind of walk through what I mean by these different type of excuses, guys, because what I think tends to happen is this. It's that when you have a crush on someone and things just aren't going the way that you want, there's a lot of different reasons you tell yourself to continue wanting to pursue that person. And these are kind of excuses that you use to kind of justify continuing to talk to them, continuing to hope and wait and just, look for the right opportunity to maybe one day go after them, maybe one day ask them, maybe one day change their mind. And I think the major problem here is that a lot of people get hung up on one crush. They focus in and hone in on one particular person, and it's hard for them to move on and focus on other people. So as we walk through these excuses, I want you guys to share your experiences if they're things that you feel you've dealt with too. Hamish, thank you so much for the £2 super chat. Let's see, it should pop up. There we go. Hamish, there it is. Hamish donated £2. Hamish said, Josh, can we set up a group on Discord for autism? Hamish, absolutely. I know we talked about it last week. We were trying to figure out whether we should make it an autism specific board, if we should make it a more more general board and stuff, but I'll talk to the mods again. We'll definitely make sure we get something set up today. Let's get this set up today. Let's figure it out, guys. We're going to do this for you guys. I know that there's a lot of people on the Discord with all unique perspectives and challenges and difficulties and things that they just want to share with the world and talk about. So I think that it'd be awesome to have a place there for everyone to communicate. Hamish, thank you for the £2 super chat. You're making it top of mind for me. I'm going to make sure it happens, man. Promise you on that. Okay, cool. So I'm looking through some of the chat here, seeing what you guys are saying. Gian says, this girl many months ago told me to delete her number. Did you know why? It's possible a girl told you to delete her number because she felt weird or awkward. Oh, you can, sorry. She felt weird or awkward about you having it. And maybe she felt uncomfortable with you texting her, you messaging her. So that might be why she said it. But it's probably more to the story. It really all depends on what exactly happened. But let's jump into these points here, guys, because I think they're pretty interesting. And I do want to get your perspective on it as well. Point number one, the first excuse that people tend to use is this. People tend to say, you think that there is no one else like them, right? This is the excuse that I hear pretty common, that no, but this person's different. This person's unique. There's something about them that makes them different from anyone else. I haven't found anyone like them at all. There's something about them. There's this kind of glorification of your crush. This glorification that they're perfect, that they're amazing, that they're so unique and so different from everyone else. And that's not to say that they're not different, they're not unique. They do have their own experiences, their own life, their own story to tell. And look, they may just be really attractive and someone that you're attracted to. But I think the excuse a lot of people give for only pursuing that crush and only wanting to pursue that crush is because, oh no, but they're the only person that I like, and the only person I can imagine dating. When you glorify, I want to say this to the camera here, when you glorify your crush, you remove the element of them actually being a person that's just like you. And this is something a lot of people tend to do with their crushes. They glorify them. They put them on this pedestal. They think that this person is unique and different, so different from everyone else that they start to feel like this person can do no wrong. This person is perfect. And when you start to think about someone like that, you make it, one, harder for yourself to connect with them because you start to feel inadequate. You start to feel insecure. You start to feel not good enough in talking to them and pursuing them. But, video I did in the past, kind of actually, the term that I used was oneitis. Now, some of you guys may have heard this term. Some of you may have seen that video I did on it. But the term oneitis basically means that you are essentially obsessed with this crush that you have. They're the only person you think about. You can't get them off your mind. You want to be with them and you don't want to be with anyone else. When you have oneitis like that, I think that it becomes a major problem. One, because it starts to interfere with other things in your life. Like, this person's just always on your mind. So if they're sitting with you in class, it's hard for you to concentrate in school. If they are in a group of friends around you, you feel awkward and weird and you can't be yourself. So when you have oneitis for someone like that, it can actually mess up your social setting, your social interactive. It can mess up your schooling. It can mess up a lot of different things. And that whole excuse of like, no, but there's no one else like them, you are, one, selling everyone else short. Like, you have to ask yourself, what is it that you really genuinely like about this person? Maybe it's their looks. Maybe it's their personality, maybe they're smart, maybe they're funny, maybe you have things in common with them, but I can guarantee there are more people out there that have some of those shared qualities as well. And a big part of it is allowing yourself to go out there and meet them, to pursue them, to talk to them. So if you're using that excuse, then you're limiting your options and your ability to meet other people. To think that this person is the only person that's special and unique is to ignore the fact that there are so many other people out there that are also special and unique. Now, I want to jump into the chat and hear what some of you guys are saying, but before I do that, let's get a chat poll going. I want to get your guys' perspective on this. Simple yes or no. Do you feel like you have oneitis for your crush? I know that back when I was in high school, I had major oneitis for my crush. I thought she was perfect and special, and it's like, there were so many other girls that I sort of liked, but I never really took the time to get to know them because I was just so enamored with this one girl. And looking back, I think to myself, what was it that I was so enamored with? Yes, she was pretty. Yes, she was funny. Yes, she was cool. But I didn't really know her all that well. So I liked the idea of her, to, pull the line from the Tessa Violet song. I liked the idea of this girl, but I didn't really know her on such a deep level. So I think that if you kind of like your crush on that, in that framework where you just like them because you like them, you should really reevaluate that more and ask yourself, am I taking the time to get to know them personally? And have I taken the time to get to know other people as well? I asked you guys here, do you feel like you have oneitis for your crush? I want to see what you guys had to say. Let's see. Here we go. Jalen says yes. Devu says no. Andrew says yes. Hamish says hi to Dono. Hey, Dono. Good to see you, man. Dono says no. Anthony, no. Let's see. Boo B. I get it. It says no. Bria La Duchère says yes. Jalen, yes. Nigel, yes. Speedy, yes. C-Gen Underhill, yes. Cheesy says, I fancied this girl for a long ass time. I hear you on that, Cheesy. Alexander Hamilton says yes. Red Lightning says, Josh, big announcement on the Insta after party. Cool, man. Ellie says no. Scott says, I think people always think there's no one else out there till they actually meet someone else. That's true. And Scott, I think you make a really, really good point there. We tend to glorify one particular person, but when you meet someone else and you realize, wow, they're just as cool, we forget that we kind of held this old perspective. So it is important for you to take time to pursue other crushes. To go back to that excuse, guys, this is the excuse that a lot of people use. You think that there's no one else like them. And this is why you just keep chasing that one crush and not allowing yourself to move on. So you really have to kind of really put it into perspective and realize, hey, they're just a person. I should take time to get to know them, just like I take time to get to know anyone else. And then as I get to know them better, I can really then decide if there's someone I want to really ask out and really, really pursue. So that's the first excuse that I think a lot of people tend to use when it comes to just having oneitis for that crush and wanting to just pursue them and no one else. I want to jump in and get your guys' perspectives here. If you guys have crushes, what's your situation there? Are they your only crush? Are you pursuing other people? I'd love to hear what you guys are saying in the chat here. Not so much as a chat poll, but more just share your feedback. Darkest Night, good to see you in here, man. I think I missed the comment that you shared, but good to have you in here, man. I welcome your perspective. And like I said, as long as we're all open, kind, and understanding to each other, we can have a great conversation about this. Nick Hill says, yes, it happened 4 years ago and it's still on my mind since then. I hear you on that. Speedy says, I only like one person, but I don't know if there is another one with the same thing. Yeah, Speedy, and that's a good point. I think that, like, the feelings that you have for your one crush, they are unique. You like that person because of the qualities that make them who they are. But when we tend to kind of just only pursue one person, especially if they friend zoned us, especially if they rejected us, especially if they're just not interested in us, we don't allow ourselves to expand our horizon and pursue other people because we just hone in and say, I want to be with this one person. This is the person I like. This is the only person I'm going to pursue. And when you limit yourself like that, you make it a lot harder for you to kind of discover new opportunities and new people to talk to. Let's see. Davidio says, have you seen Dr. Nerdlove's video on oneitis? I really learned a lot from him and you, of course. I haven't, but I'm definitely going to check it out. I've heard you. I know you mentioned Dr. Nerdlove in the past, and I feel like I've seen a few of his videos, but I'm going to go in and kind of do a deeper dive and watch more of them. Haley says, my crush is my boyfriend. I learn something new about him every day, and I hope it continues. That's awesome, Haley. Yeah, I think that's really cool. I think that to determine, like if you're in a relationship, right? For you, Haley, like you're now dating this guy and he's your boyfriend, you've decided that he's someone you want to dive deeper into, to learn more about, just like you said, to explore and to see where the two of you overlap. And that's amazing, and I think when you decide to be in a relationship with someone, that's exactly what you should do. But when a person's just in the crush stage, right, and they're just someone that you kind of like from afar, I think it's more important to kind of really open your options there because you haven't decided, both like you and the other person haven't mutually decided to be with each other. But I think you make a good point there, Haley. Alexander Hamilton says, I have a friend who I don't really know well, and I don't have feelings for them at all. And I just want to be friends with them, but for some reason they blocked me, and I don't know why. That's interesting, Alexander. I think that if they blocked you and you don't really know why, and you just want to maintain friendship, it's important to reflect on what the conversations were like between you and them prior to getting blocked. Like, were you messaging them? Were you commenting on their pictures? Were you in a group chat with them? Really try to dive deep and analyze, hey, what kind of may have led to this person blocking me and not, wanting to talk to me? It's important to really think deeply about that because just saying, hey, they blocked me, how do I get them to unblock me, isn't going to resolve the deeper lying issue that might be there. Okay, I'm going to jump into the second point here, guys. I want to also hear what you guys have to say. I love hearing your guys' perspective and opinions on this. By the way, I left this on my desk. I figured I'll just hold it up. This is my book, Embracing the Awkward. I know a bunch of you know about it, but I wrote this book for you guys. This is a guide for teens to succeed at school, life, and relationships. If those are 3 areas in your life that you feel like you want to improve or do better on, or you just learn a little bit more about, this book is going to kind of walk you through that. I share my own personal stories in here. I share advice. I give tips. It's kind of like a book version of what you get on my channel. So definitely check it out. It's available on Amazon. It's called Embracing the Awkward. If you look, this book is the one I keep. If you watch my videos, if you look in the back, I always have a book there, and this is the one I keep there. And because it's always hit by the sun, the color is kind of fading. You can't really see it on the camera, but the color is kind of fading on it because it's always hit by the sun. Okay, let's get into excuse number 2 that people tend to use. And that is this. You think you're almost ready to ask them out. Almost. Not quite there, but almost. Now, I want to explain what this means exactly. When I say that, you think you're almost ready to ask them out, what I ultimately mean is this. You are slowly flirting with your crush. You talk to them every so often. Maybe you message them once in a while. And what tends to happen is that when people are kind of a little bit obsessed with their own crush, they look at any type of interaction they have with them as progress. And I think that in some cases, yes, it's progress, but then I think in a lot of cases, it's actually not. And let me explain that a little bit. So just because maybe you message your crush and say, hey, what's up? And they respond to you, doesn't mean that you're moving closer to being in a relationship with them. You're actually, just by having casual conversations here and there, you're actually moving closer to developing a friendship with them. So you want to kind of go up and you're just kind of going straight there. And I think that's where a lot of people tend to go. They tell themselves, hey, I really like this girl. And look, she responds to my messages. So, maybe that's a sign that we're getting closer to dating in the future. But she doesn't know that you like her. You don't really flirt with her. You haven't asked her out. You haven't given her any indication or given him any indication that you actually want to date them and be with them. Instead, you're kind of taking the slow approach. I'm just going to kind of use friendly lines and talk to them and kind of, not be more bold in how I feel and ask them out, but instead just kind of really take the safe friend route. Now, if you guys watch the previous live streams, this is something I talk about. Like that if you're not willing to flirt with your crush, if you're not willing to ask them out, if that's not something that you're planning on doing, you're going to get friend zoned. And I think a lot of people who are pursuing their crushes and are afraid of getting rejected, are afraid of their friend telling them, I don't like you and I only see you as a friend, will settle for any little interactions they have, right? They'll settle for that. And they think they're making progress, but they really aren't. So this is a chat poll I want each and every single one of you guys to jump into. I want to ask you guys this. And this is a question that I asked in the previous live stream, but I want to ask it again here because I think it's an important one. Do you feel like you are working, be honest here, be honest with where you actually stand. Do you feel like you're realistically working towards a relationship with the person you like or towards a friendship with the person that you like? I want you guys to be honest, completely honest in answering that question. You may feel like, oh, yeah, I talked to them, but realistically, I think they just see me as a friend, and that's all I've kind of accepted. I want you guys to kind of really, really share your perspective. People are asking, what's the name of the book? The book is called Embracing the Awkward. If you go to thejoshspeaks.com/awkward, you can check it out. I forgot how much it costs on Amazon. I think it's like $14 or something like that. I don't control the price. The company does. The publishing company, Mango, since they kind of have it set up on Amazon and they control the page, they control the pricing. But I think it's set at $14 right now. Yeah, guys, leave the politics out of this. We could do a politics stream in the future, but let's focus this one on really kind of diving deep into the excuses. We'll save the politics for another stream, guys. But this one, I really want to kind of dive in. I want to get your perspective. Anyone who shared a political opinion, share your story here. Do you feel like you're working towards a friendship or you're working towards a relationship with your crush? Let's see. Red Lightning says, yes, relationship. Cool. Speedy Mister says relationship, not friendship. Let's see. Jalen says relationship. Oh, did he say relationship? Yes, relationship. Let's see. Anthony Quinto says, I'm already in a relationship, so my answer doesn't help. I hear you on that, Anthony. Cheesy says, we are great friends. Realistically, I have to approach her at parties and see where my smooth talking can lead. Yeah, Cheesy, I think that's a good point. That having casual conversation is great, but you need to kind of have a game plan for like, how can I up the ante? How can I flirt? How can I ask them out? How can I show them some level of romantic interest? Because if I don't show them that, then it's not going to go anywhere. But that's why I really wanted to hone in on this excuse that people use, which is, oh no, I'm making progress, but realistically they're working towards a friendship. And they really like this crush, so they're not willing to kind of recognize, hey, they see me as a friend. Like this isn't really going anywhere, because they like them so much. So I want people to try their best, guys. Try your best to be realistic about approaching your crush here. If you see that it's just not working in the way that you want, something needs to change. Alexander Hamilton says, I have a crush I've known for a year. I mostly text her because I'm too awkward in person. She never texts me first, and I'm always the one to start the conversation. It's getting boring. What do I do? So if you're the one that's always texting her first, I think that it might mean that she's not as involved yet in the conversation as you may want it to be. So I think that what you have to kind of really think about is oh, whoa. Okay. Thank you, pizza. Let me see if we can pull that up here. No, wrong one. This one. Thank you, pizza. With the $10 super chat said, it doesn't let me join as a member. Pizza, if you're trying to do it on mobile, I'm going to look it up. Pizza, what I want you to do is to shoot me an email, thejoshspeaks.com, thejoshspeaks@gmail.com. Shoot me an email, and I will try to figure it out, or DM me on Instagram or wherever it's good for you. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I apologize. I know that you wanted to join rather than probably donate the super chat. I don't know if there's something I can do about that to change it, but I really, really appreciate it. I'm gonna try to help you get it all figured out after this. And thank you. I want to destroy generic list for the £2 super chat there. Oh yeah, it just shows there. It doesn't show both things. But thank you again for the super chat, guys. I really appreciate it. Pizza with 1,000 subscribers. I'm gonna try my best to get it all squared off with you. If you want to use that $10 super chat as towards a becoming a champion level member, let's figure it out and stuff. I want to help you out, man. Okay, cool. Thank you guys again for the $10 super chat. Back to what I was saying. It's that if you're the one who's always starting conversation with your crush and they're not, Patreon might be his best bet. A pizza with 1,000 subscribers, you may want to try on Patreon if for some reason it's not working on mobile. I know also if you go to my channel page, if you go to the Josh Speaks on YouTube, my actual channel page, the join button should be there. So if you want to leave the live stream and join there, we could figure that out. I'm not sure if I can cancel or refund super chat so that you can do that. We'll figure it out. Anyway, if they're not messaging you and you're always messaging first, I'm gonna wrap that point up. If you're the one who's always messaging first, it's possible that the conversations aren't engaging enough for them to want to start the conversations back with you. So you may want to think about the type of things that you're talking about with them. That might mean changing up how you're talking to them, not just texting them, but you may also want to something pop up. Oh, I heard the fire. You may also want to send them video clips of you, just random video clips of you. Send them audio recordings of you instead of text messages. Send them random pictures. Comment on their pictures, on their posts and stuff. Respond to their Instagram stories. Be interactive in a lot of different ways and ask questions, because the more questions you ask, the more they're going to open up to you and the more they'll share with you. And the more that they start to share with you, the better chance you'll have of them actually turning around and going, wow, this is a person I can talk to. This is a person I can open up with, a person I can be real with. So that's definitely, I would say, the route you should take. And let's just be real then. If you try all that and they're just not interactive, it's possible that they're just not interested. You could say you've tried it all, but at that point, if they're just not interested, it might make sense to move on. All right, let's keep DM me Instagram. Cool. Pizza. Well, pizza with 1,000 subs. We'll figure it out. I didn't see what the Darkest Night said, but Darkest Night, if I don't know, I'm not sure what he said. I'll figure it out. Darkest Night, I think that the best thing for you to do, man, is join our community, man. Jump on Discord. If you want to have back and forth conversations, we have a debate board. In fact, I'll pull it up here. I'd love to have you on the Discord. Just download the app, the Discord app on your phone or even on the computer, and get in there. Jump in there and let's talk. We have a debate board so you can talk, you can chat with people, you can share your opinions, and I think the Discord is also just a great place to meet other people that are interesting, people that are fun, people that are open to talking and making friends. It's just an awesome, awesome place to be. And I'm happy to have such an amazing community. We have such amazing moderators and caring people in there. Dono the Gamer is in there. Anthony is in there. Both Anthonys. We have two Anthonys. Hamish is in there. Haley is a moderator in there. So we got just awesome people in there. It's just a great place to make friends, to share your opinions, and to get advice outside of me and me sharing it on my channel here. The overlay screenshot is pretty old. I gotta update it. I need something a little more engaging because that just does not look engaging. It just looks boring. I don't know. Anyway, let's jump into the third point here, guys. By By the way, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this live stream, guys. Let's see how many live stream. I know, Discord light mode. Everyone hates me for it. I get it. Okay. Point number 3 is this, guys. This is the third excuse that a lot of people tend to use. You can't stop stalking them on social media. One of the reasons why you can't get over your crush, and if they've decided they don't like you or they don't want to date you, and you just can't get over them, well, ask yourself, do you constantly check their social media profiles? Are you constantly checking to see when they post new pictures or what their stories are? Are you always scrolling through the old pictures just to look at them and see how they feel and to see what's going on? If you are constantly stalking your crush on social media, yeah, you're not going to be able to move on from them. Now, people say this as an excuse because they feel like they just can't help it. They just keep looking and it's not their choice. Well, I've said it in the past that if you want to move on from someone, you're going to have to block them. That's just the truth, guys. If you find yourself constantly looking at your crush's page and you just always, like, anytime they post a new picture, it just hits you in the feels because, I like them, but I can't be with them, or they're dating someone else, or it's just not working out. If it keeps hitting you in the feels, you need to block them. You need to get them out of sight, out of mind. I know that a lot of people hear that and they go, okay, yeah, and then they keep following their crush. But if the person you like doesn't want to date you and you're just obsessed with them, the only way you're going to move on is by redirecting your attention to other people. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you take them out of your feed. Now, here's one thing I've learned about taking people out of your feed, right? Before you do it, before you take someone out of your feed, you feel like it's impossible. You feel like, oh my God, but I don't want to delete them. But what if I miss something? Once you take them out of your feed and like a week goes by, you don't think about it as often. You kind of just forget about it. And that's the whole point. The whole point is to kind of create a bit more space so that you can just focus your attention elsewhere. And you're only going to feel that way once you actually do it. So I want to ask you guys this. Question. We'll do a chat poll here. Darkest Night says, they ban me when I'm just stating facts. Darkest Night, I don't know so much if it's that you're stating facts. It's that, and guys, like I said, if Darkest Night says something that's hurtful or mean or attacking, by all means, mute the comment, because this is not a community where we attack each other. But if he's just sharing his opinion on something, maybe just look, he has a right to share it, let him share it, right? As divergent as it may be from everything else, I think it's important for all of us to have a voice to share, as long as we don't attack each other. That's the key, guys. We have to have open dialogue and conversation to hear each other and listen. But that'd be my perspective on Darkest Night saying that they don't want to hear the truth or whatever he said. Let's get that chat poll going. Thank you so much. Pizza with 1,000 subscribers says, I just DM'd you. I'm not available on Saturday, though. We'll pull that one up. This thing. Thank you again for the $2 super chat. Pizza with 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, I agree. You guys are doing your best. I really appreciate it. I'm not. This isn't to say like don't do this, don't do that. I'm just saying I think that I wouldn't say mods are unfair. I think the mods do a really good job at trying to maintain and help people stay on topic. There goes the church bells. But anyway, like I said, thank you again, Pizza with 1,000 subscribers. No, wrong one. There we go. Just DM me, I'm not available on Saturday. No problem. I'll try to respond to you right after this live stream, probably after my Instagram after party, just so we can kind of figure that out, man. Darkest Night said, how am I spreading negativity when I'm literally suffering? I hear you on that, man. I understand that things are tough and you're dealing with a lot. And I want this to be a place where people can talk to each other and you can share your feelings. That's why I said join the Discord. I think it's a great place to share your feelings. And I think it'd just be a good community for you, Darkest Night. I honestly believe that. All right, let's get the chat poll going because I'm getting pulled all over the place. That third one was, it was stalking your crush on social media. That was the third excuse. Now let's get a chat poll, guys. Do you constantly check your crush's profile on social media? Like any of their profiles, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever it is. Are you constantly checking their profiles? Yes or no? Be honest, guys. I want to hear everyone's honest perspective on here. Let's see. Scott says, blocking was the best thing I could have done to help me move on. If not every time I saw them, it would hurt. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Sometimes blocking them is the best step to take. It really helps you kind of not stay so focused on them. Because this is the thing, when you like someone that doesn't want to date you, someone that doesn't like you back, it is important for you to move on. It is important for you to kind of realize that, hey, this isn't going anywhere with this person. But if you're constantly looking at their profile and scrolling, yeah, that's not going to be an easy thing to do. Connor says, why did you put me in timeout just for saying mods in Discord are unfair? XD Gamer says, I used to, but I stopped doing it, but not by not using the app. Yeah, not using the app I think is a super helpful thing to do. It's like sometimes maybe just don't use Instagram as much anymore, or don't go on Snapchat or whatever it may be. Ryan Raisin says no, and also Josh, have you heard about what's happening in the Smash Bros community? I have not. What's going on in the Smash Bros community? So I asked you guys, do you constantly check your crush's profiles? Here's what you guys had to say. Bria says no. Bean says, what did I miss? Oh, a whole lot, Emma, a whole lot. Whole lot's going on. Jalen says yes. Andrew Dominguez says yes, sir. Pizza says yes. Yancey says yes. Trinity's the Monkey says yes. Secretive Ho, very secretive, says yes. Pizza says yes. K Spice says yes. Red Lightning, yes. I'm seeing a lot of yeses here. I guess a lot of people do constantly check their crush's profiles. Booby says yes every time. Ryan Raisin says no. And also, Josh, have you heard about what's happening? Oh, I read that. It's Smash Community. Jalen says, hey, hi, Josh. I don't know if my crush is still dating or not. Should I find out because she deleted posts of her boyfriend and she unfollowed him? Jalen, it sounds like they might have broken up. I know that it was a pretty tricky situation before trying to figure out. Thank you for the £5 super chat, Hamish. I'm going to read it off now. So Jalen, it's a tricky situation. You may want to just reach out to her and ask her how she's doing. Hamish, thank you again. Hamish said, I feel so happy today, but I want to stay happy because I hope to get a girlfriend soon. I'm losing my mind. I just want to be with someone. I hear you on that, Hamish. I think that, I know your situation. I know what you're dealing with, that it's hard for you to interact with people outside. One, because of the coronavirus, and two, because, it's difficult sometimes to message someone or to approach them and talk to them. So I understand that you want to be with someone. And I hope that along the way, this community could be helpful. I hope I could be helpful in Hamish. And it really is all about, let me see if I'll pull it up here. It really is all about everything being small steps. There we go. Everything really is small steps. And I think the key is to allow yourself to get more comfortable messaging people, starting conversations, approaching them whenever you can, once you're actually able to go out and start doing that more. Cheesy says, guys, can we focus on the topic at hand? We're doing the best actions of the community. We don't inspire hate. I agree. I think that the mods are doing a fantastic job really trying to help, keep things in order and trying to help, make sure that people don't fight and people don't start attacking each other, because I want this community to be a place that's helpful. And I think sometimes we may have strong opinions and strong feelings about stuff, but we need to be respectful of others. And when people aren't being respectful, the mods know what to do. The mods, they're in that role where they're helping and trying to facilitate positive conversation. But yeah, so like I said, that third point was really just about making sure that you don't stalk your crush on social media. If you're obsessed with them, you need to block them, or you just need to use the apps a lot less. All right, let's see what some more of you guys are saying here. Utopian Dystopia says, I can't see someone due to Corona. Yeah, I think that's a common problem. I think a lot of people are in a situation where they can't see their crushes, they can't meet up with them, they can't talk to them because, sorry. They can't do that because of Corona. They can't go outside. So it is a difficult time period. That's why I think the best thing for you to focus on doing now is texting, communicating, video chatting. Those are probably the best avenues for you to really take with them. I think that that's going to help you still maintain connections with people even when you can't see them outside. Ryan Raisin said, Josh, in the Smash community, a bunch of top players and commentators have been accused and some admitted to having sexual relationships with minors. Jeez, that's horrible. I know that in the Twitch community, in the Smash community, in all these different areas, people are being exposed, and I think it's a good thing. I think that we have to filter out these kind of people that are doing these horrible, horrible things because, YouTube and Twitch and Smash. These are amazing platforms that really bring people together of all ages, really. And I think that we have to make them safe environments for people to interact. And the moment they stop being safe, we need to cut those people out. We need to like remove them from the community, remove them from what's going on, because this should be a safe place for us to all interact. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think it's long overdue for these type of things to happen. Okay, I want to jump into the next point here, guys. This is the fourth excuse that people tend to use. Let me pull it up here. Okay, the fourth excuse that's going to keep you chasing your crush even when they don't like you back and they don't want to date you, and that's this, guys. You crave the attention that they give you. This is something that kind of ties into the previous point, but I think it's important to be honest here. Sometimes when you like someone, just the mere fact that they acknowledge you, just the mere fact that they talk to you or they message you or they like one of your posts, just the mere fact that they see you as a person is what keeps you chasing them. I know that I felt this way when I was younger, that whenever a girl gave me attention, you know, any kind of attention, I would obsess over it. I'd be like, oh my God, she likes me. She wants to talk to me. Oh, this is great. You know, I think that a lot of people fall prey to this excuse because it makes them feel good when someone acknowledges them. And I think that what you're doing really is you're selling yourself short a bit. You are maybe accepting not the best kind of behavior, right? So let's say your crush messages you and asks you for a favor and you help them. And then they don't talk to you again for like a month. And you message them and you say hi to them, but they never respond to you. And the only time they talk to you is when they need something from you. Or the only time they talk to you is when they, you know, like they want to learn something, drama, or they want to talk to someone else through you. You know, you start to realize that, hey, my crush really only interacts with me when it's going to benefit them. And not because they really want to get to know me. But you like that attention so much that you're willing to take it. Now, this is something that a lot of people do when they're in the friend zone. This specifically is for people in the friend zone, because when you're in the friend zone and you like your crush, but you're willing to settle for a friendship because you don't want to move on because that person's paying attention to you, that's exactly what we're talking about here, guys. You're not allowing yourself to pursue other people, to get to know others, to expand your horizons simply because you enjoy the attention that person's giving you. And I want you guys to really, really understand this, that you know, when you like someone and they don't feel that same way back for you, you should never settle for a type of connection that you don't want. Don't settle for a friendship if you don't want to just be friends with that person. So many people do this. They see that their crush doesn't like them. Their crush says, hey, I only see you as a friend. And they go, oh, that's cool. You know, we could just stay friends. Sorry. And they just stay friends with them because they don't want to lose their crush from their life. Now, I want to do a chat poll here, and I want to ask you guys this. Be honest here. This is all about honesty. This is all about being real with each other and really trying to find solutions. Do you feel like you have been friend-zoned by your crush? Does your crush only see you as a friend? And if you are in the friend zone with your crush now, do you only still talk to them and interact with them and pursue them because they give you attention? They pay attention to you and say hi to you and talk to you and treat you like a friend? I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Connor says, I got kicked because I said I like Trump. I don't know if that's what it was, Connor. I think there was more to it. In fact, I distinctly remember there being way more to it. Let's see. Trinity says, I'm literally improving my... sorry. My nose is stuffy. I'm literally improving myself for this girl, and I don't even know if she likes me anymore. I'm working out, eating healthy, making sure I'm always on top of my grades. Is that bad? Trinity, I think that is exactly what we're talking about here. You said you're doing all these things, these positive changes for this girl. You're doing it with the intention that she's going to pay attention to you, that she's going to like you, that she's going to want to be with you. And realistically, these are positive changes that you should be doing for yourself, that you should be focusing on for your own self-growth. I think that when you are like shifting your life in a direction where you want someone's approval, you're going to stop prioritizing yourself and you're going to start prioritizing their opinions. And I think it's an unhealthy cycle to get into. I asked you guys, do you feel like you're friend zoned by your crush? Here's what you guys had to say. Dono says yes. Let's see. Oddcraft says 500% yes. Tatenda Cyclone says yes and yes. Stuart says don't have a crush. Jalen says I think so, but I have second thoughts. Rage Master says sometimes. James says yes. Andrew says I'm not sure what they see me as. That's a fair point. Let's see. Prodigy says, I don't really know. Darkest Night says, James, did you know X listened to that type of music and implemented it in his? I'm not sure what type of music. I think he was talking about Extentation. I forgot his name. Let's see. Austin says, I don't have a crush currently, but in the past, I've been friend zoned. I hear you on that. Oddcraft says, well, no, but yeah. Judah Ronda says, yes and no. Yeah, I hear you on that, you know. Sometimes it's happened with one person, not with another, or you're not really sure where he stands. Rafi says, I asked her if she wanted to meet up and hang out sometime, and she didn't get a response. Got any tips? Yeah, I mean, if you asked her to hang out and you didn't get a response, it's possible that you haven't built up enough of a connection with her yet to actually lead it to something. So I think it's important for you. Hold on, let me set this up. There we go. I think it's important for you to find an alternative way to talk to her and to interact with her. That might mean messaging her, calling her, asking her in person, whatever you can, and seeing if she has a different type of response there. Because if she didn't respond to the message, sending her more messages isn't going to somehow change her mind or change her perspective. Haley made a really, really good point, and something I want to take just a minute here just to address here, guys. Haley said, this is not the place to attack our mods. If you do want to give us feedback, please don't hesitate to message on Discord. Haley is 100% right, guys. We set up a channel on our Discord to give feedback. If you feel like there's something that the mods can improve on, if you feel like there's something that wasn't done, that something that was done that wasn't fair, we set up a forum so that you guys can kind of share feedback, because the whole point is we're trying to build a community that is helpful and is useful to people. But don't spend the time here in this YouTube live stream attacking mods or complaining about mods and fighting with mods, guys. It doesn't accomplish anything. I think what you end up doing is, and I saw like Emma pointed out and Pizza pointed out, like, no need to fight here, guys. We're fighting over something that share your feedback with the mods and stuff, and then we can figure out what to do from there. But saying it here in the live stream isn't going to change anything. This isn't the place to fight and argue with mods or about mods. This is the place where for this live stream, we're trying to figure out how to deal with these different types of excuses, if there are things that you've told yourself before, and how to allow yourself to move on. The form is down. Okay, we're going to fix that form. Anyway, but that's a separate thing. We're trying to set up the Discord so that we can build it in a way that is the most helpful. That's the key, guys. One thing I want to share is this, guys. So a few people had asked and a few people had mentioned here. I know Pizza Pizza wants to become a channel member, guys. If you check out here, go to patreon.com/thejoshspeaks, or if you see it on your screen, hit the join button. It should be when you're typing. It should be right there. I think it should be right there. But if you become a member, there's a lot of cool perks to it. If you become a champion level member, we can talk one-on-one every single month through video chat. If you become a YouTube channel member, you can use these cool emojis right here when you post. If you've seen Dono has used them and a few other people have used them before. So they're cool emojis. You also get a little badge next to your name here on the channel, which is cool. I'm going to be redesigning those badges too in a little bit, but you get all those cool perks, guys. There's a lot of awesome reasons why you should become a channel member, especially if you want just more personalized time with me to kind of walk you through what's going on, talk about your struggles and challenges, and kind of just figure out how you can work towards being your best self. So check that out, guys. Patreon.com/thejoshspeaks, or hit the little join button below. We're going to move on to our fifth point here, guys. How long is the stream? Oh, we're only at 43 minutes on. Actually, before I get to the fifth point, I want to do some Q&A, guys. I do want to also say this. We'll pull this up, guys, and that's this. Right after this live stream, right after I finish going live on YouTube, I'm going to be jumping over on Instagram, for the Instagram after party. Some of you don't know what that is. The ones that do, you're all OGs, you know what's going on. But the Instagram after party is a live stream I do on Instagram right after this one, where I bring you guys on. So if you want to jump on and quickly video chat with me, I like to bring on as many people as I can. If you want to jump on and video chat with me, head on over to Instagram, follow me there, and request to join. And I'll bring you on, and you can just talk to me there. I think it's a really cool place, guys, to chat. It's a lot more laid back, a lot more relaxed. We talk about whatever's on your mind. Rage Master brought up a good point, guys. I don't have a graphic for it yet, but if any of you guys are on Reddit, any of you guys are Reddit users, we have a Reddit board for the Josh Speaks. So I would love to have you on a Reddit board. We're just starting to grow it there. So I think that if you're someone that uses Reddit, jump on the Reddit board, guys. I think it's a good place to be. And another thing I want to pull up here is this. I don't have a graphic for you yet for the screen, so I'll just show you guys. Oh, it's blurry. All right, I'm going to hold it. No, you can't really see it. Okay, we'll do it like this, guys. Oh, it's automatic. Whatever. All right, I'm going to set up a graphic for it, but you guys can text me if you want to. Just set up this texting number. So if texting is something that you like to do other than Instagram or anything like that, shoot me a text, guys. The number is, there you go, 1718-400-7129. You can shoot me a text there. I'll check out your text. I'm trying to respond to as many people here as I can. This is my texting community, so you'll get updated on any new things that I'm posting or talking about. I like to ask questions. If you have questions, you can text me, and I like to respond to people there. It's a new place for you guys to interact with me that's personalized and private and stuff. It's just a good way to kind of communicate with me. Check it out, guys. That's the number right there. I want to jump in and answer a few more questions here, guys, because as we dive into this idea of like excuses that you're using that's holding you back from pursuing your crushes, I want to hear your guys' stories. I want to know what your experiences are like. So what's the deal with you and your crush? What's holding you back from asking them out? What do you feel is the next step you personally need to take to actually make something work with them? Thank you, Donna, for sharing that. I really appreciate it, man. I will have a graphic set up probably next week, but thank you for sharing that, Donna. So guys, yeah, like I said, jump into the chat here and share your perspectives. Josh, do you ever get scam calls? It doesn't work as a phone number. I think you can leave a voicemail, but it doesn't like ring on my phone. So I go into a platform and I can read all the messages and I can respond. Let's see. XD Gamer says, Josh, how do you become friends with your crush if you don't have a lot in common? That's a good question. If you don't have a lot in common with your crush, I think that it's like you don't have to like all the same things as someone to really connect with them. Sometimes you both may just have passions about your own personal things that you like, right? So like you may like video games and they may like, I don't know, art. And you can show appreciation for what they like, even though it's not your favorite thing, because you're enamored with the fact of how much they care about it and they're passionate about it. And you may like the fact that they're passionate about something. So you don't have to have everything in common with them in order to make things work. Just show a dedicated interest in learning about them as a person. Let's see. James said, the darkest night probably for the better. Social media like Insta ruined my mental health. I suggest getting WhatsApp though, so you can talk to people who are your mates with. Yeah, I agree. Having a texting app like WhatsApp or something, it removes the social media aspect of it all, and you can just communicate with people. Let's see. Carlo Polenia says, hey Josh, me and my crush have Snapchat streaks, and we have talked a few times in Snapchat, and those convos went great. I'm wondering that she is not starting any convos, even though we have spoke a few times. So Carlo, I think that if you spoke a few times and she's not starting convos, if they're just not like the one who's messaging you first, then they may not feel like they have a reason to start messaging you just yet, right? They may not know you well enough yet. They may not feel like you're someone that they can open up to or they can joke around with, right? A lot of times when it comes to someone feeling comfortable messaging you first, they need to see what your level of humor is. They need to see, are you someone I can joke around with? Are you someone that's going to understand me if I joke around with you? So showcasing your humor to someone is going to help you, get closer to them. It's going to help them see that they can open up more to you. I pass my sneezes to you, Haley. On to you, Haley. You can take over them. All right. let's jump into the fifth point here, guys, and that is this. We're talking about excuses that keep you chasing a crush that won't date you. And this is the fifth excuse that I think a lot of people may struggle with. And I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But the fifth one is this: you don't think that you deserve better. I think the darkest night may feel this in some ways, and I think a few of you guys may feel this in some ways. You don't think that you deserve better. You may feel like you're not someone that's interesting enough or attractive enough or funny enough. And because of that, you're not really willing to pursue other people because you don't think it's going to work out. You feel like even if you try, you have nothing to offer. And because of that, like, hey, at least your crush may acknowledge you and talk to you. So they're the only ones that you're going to talk to. They're the only ones you're going to pursue. And I think that, if you feel like you're not good enough, well, then there's no way that anyone else is going to think that you are. You first need to work on believing in yourself. And I know that's not easy to do. I know that's incredibly hard to do, especially if you feel insecure about something. Maybe it's your height, maybe it's your looks, maybe it's your weight, maybe it's the way that you speak. We all have our own insecurities and things that we feel hold us back. And a lot of times we just won't pursue other people because of them. So here's what I really want to talk to you guys about. I really want to be straight with you guys on this. That one, I want you to understand deep, deep, deep down inside that there's no one else in this world exactly like you. Think about that. You are the only one of you that exists. There never will be anyone like you, and there never has been. So you bring your own unique thoughts, perspectives, and experiences to the table. And in every interaction you have, no one else can replicate that. So it's important to realize that, yeah, you are special. You are unique. There is something different about you compared to everyone else. And if you can realize that, first and foremost, you can realize the value you bring. Now look, that doesn't mean that someone else is going to see it or recognize it or acknowledge it. But if you can acknowledge it for yourself first, then I think you're starting to take those small steps. Then I think you're starting to work towards realizing, hey, you know what? If I'm pursuing my crush and they don't like me, or they're stringing me along, or they friend zone me, I don't have to settle for that. I don't have to accept that type of behavior. I can move on and I can find someone else. If you could allow yourself to really believe that, then you're not going to focus entirely on your crush. You're not going to obsess over them. You're not going to accept their bad behavior just because they pay attention to you. You're going to realize, I deserve better, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find someone that is going to treat me in the way that I want to be treated. I think it's crucial for you guys to realize that, because so many people beat themselves up over things that they can't change, right? Like, you look the way you look, you're as tall as the way you are, you sound the way you do. And instead of attacking yourself for these things and feeling like no one's going to love you, realize that you bring something unique to the table. And as you put yourself out there more, and as you meet more people, and as you have more experiences, and as you try to date people, and as you learn how to flirt, and you work on your conversation skills, as you do all the things that we talk about on this channel, as you work on taking those small steps on being your best self, you're going to feel more confident in yourself. You're going to be more compassionate towards yourself. You're going to be accepting of yourself. And you're going to be aware of the fact that you, that you are somebody great. It's something I want to share, guys. I say it all the time, and I will say it a million times more because I really, really believe it. So if you're stuck in this place where you're using excuses to pursue a crush that doesn't like you back, you deserve better. You deserve better, and you're only going to achieve that if you're willing to put yourself out there and try. Now, I want to jump in and get another chat poll here going, guys, because I really, really want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to ask you guys this honest question. Do you feel like you're super critical of yourself? Do you feel like my nose is all stuffy. Do you feel like you beat yourself up and you tear down yourself and you feel like you are your own harshest critic sometimes? Yes or no, guys? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Hamish, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. Hamish, I appreciate it. Hamish said, it's showing Azim's there because Azim donated right after. Azim, I'll get to your question in a second. Hamish said, Josh, I sent you a text I sent you a text on the number you showed. Also, sorry for when I said I was losing my mind. I will ask my mom tomorrow to help me go on the site. No problem, Hamish. Like I said, also, Hamish, it's the start of a new month, so we got to set up our Patreon call, and we could talk about dating sites and stuff. I've been working with a few people and helping to set up their dating profiles and working on their pictures. So, Hamish, we're going to get back on that Muddy site, and we're going to try to make it work for you, man. I believe in you. You bring a lot to the table. You're a funny guy. You're a good-looking guy. You're an interesting person. So don't beat yourself up, man. You're gonna figure this out. Azim, thank you too for the super chat. Azim says, "Hey Josh, would you say you're as wise as Mr. Miyagi?" While I appreciate that, Azim, I would not say I'm as wise as Mr. Miyagi. I think that Mr. Miyagi, he really understood the value of waxing on and waxing off. I'd like to believe that I embody the values of Mr. Rogers. I would never say that I think I'm at his level. But I would like to say that I embody the characteristics and the teachings of Mr. Rogers in everything that I do. You guys see kind of a little bit of the little picture frame things I have up there. And a lot of what I teach and a lot of things I share comes from the work of Mr. Rogers. It comes from recognizing that you are special just the way you are. It comes from recognizing that we all have a gift, we all have something to offer. And if we can learn to recognize how very fancy we are, then we can now move forward and find someone who can value that as well. All right, I want to jump in. I asked you guys the questions, and I apologize, I didn't read what you guys were saying. I want to scroll up and say here. Secretive Host says, okay, but I look like a depressed mop. I hear you on that. I think that sometimes people may not look the way that they want to, or they may feel like they struggle a lot with their appearance. And look, I looked horrible when I was like a teenager. I had acne all over my face. My clothes were just frumpy looking. As you get older, you'll start to really figure those things out. You start to be more confident in who you are. There's an awkward stage of life, and you might just be going through that right now. Prodigy Trevor says, what if you never had a girlfriend, Josh? If I've never had a girlfriend before and I had been single up until the point that I am now, I might feel a little jaded. I might feel a little hurt and rejected. Probably how Darkest Night feels. I might feel like no one loves me, no one accepts me. And it might be hard for me to kind of hear someone say, what do you mean I'm special? What do you mean I have something to offer? Because I wouldn't believe it because no one has liked me before. But I would hope that if I wanted to accomplish something, if I wanted to work on something, if I wanted to better myself, I'd be able to move past those negative thoughts and try to find a way forward. Let's see. Scott says, but what if these unique traits or characteristics are bad or unlikable? That's a good point, Scott. I think that when I say that you're unique, I mean that you bring your whole self to the table. The good and the bad, the ugly along with the beautiful. It all makes up who you are. And we all have bad traits. We all have negative traits, bad things that we do. And it's important to recognize that we have those things. And if there are things that we offer that we want to work on and improve, we should aim to do that. But if you're going to beat yourself up and assume I only have negative traits and the negative traits are the worst of me, then you're not accepting the best of you. Let's see. XD Gamer says, well, no and yes, because she's not the best, but she isn't the worst. I hear you on that. Secretive Host said, I look like a sad mop that got used. All my past friends use me. I'm sorry to hear that. Let's see. Andrew says, I would say yes. I bring myself down a lot. Noah says, yeah, sometimes. Scott says, yeah, I'm really critical of myself. It's bad, really. Dr. Lavarch says, absolutely. Reading through. Yeah, Bean says, the golden rule, treat people the way you want to be treated. Absolutely, absolutely, Emma. Rage Master says, I like you just the way you are. I like you too, Rage Master, just the way you are. TK says, yes and no for things out of my control, my height. Darkest Night says, if you are delusional and blue-pilled, you will get hurt in this world. Never live a life of bliss and naivete, right? I think you're partially right on that. I think that a lot of people do live a world of bliss, and they live in a very hopeful idea of like, oh, I just want things to work out. But Darkest Night, I think you make a good point in that. Like if we want something in life, we have to pursue it. We have to also accept that it may fail. Things may not work out the way we want. If we can be willing to recognize that life ain't sunshine and rainbows, things don't always work out, but as long as you are alive and as long as you're breathing, you can find a way through, then I think we're going to start making peace and get there. I want to now jump in, guys, and do the recap here so we can get to our mindful moment. I also want to say thank you to everyone listed here for all the super chats, for all the conversation you guys shared. I think that this has been an awesome conversation so far. So let's jump in and recap these points. For anyone that may have jumped in late or missed a point or two, let's really look at what we're talking about here, guys. Kyle said, what is blue pill? Kyle, check out my video on the black pill. I break down what the blue pill is in that. Guys, the 5 excuses that keep you chasing a crush that won't date you. If there's someone that you like and they don't like you back, you might be using these excuses to justify continuing to pursue them. The first one is this. You think that there's no one else like them. Sometimes we become so obsessed with our crush, we become so enamored thinking that they're perfect, there's no one else like them, that we develop oneitis for them. And when you have oneitis for your crush, what it basically means is that they're the only person on your mind. You're not willing to pursue anyone else. You don't want to pursue anyone else. You only want to focus on them. And you know that they don't like you, but you only focus on them. And I think it's a bad way to live life, because you are not allowing yourself to meet other people, to talk to them, to interact, to expand your options for who you can actually date. So don't use this excuse. The second excuse is this. You think you're almost ready to ask them out. A lot of times when people are in the friend zone or people are not really being romantic with their crush, they tend to feel like, no, but I'm almost there. I'm almost at a point where I can ask them out. I'm almost at a point where I can flirt with them. I just need to talk to them a little bit more before I can do it. People use this excuse all the time when they are afraid to just be honest and real with their crush. They're afraid to flirt with them or ask them out or romantically pursue them, because if you romantically pursue them, there's a chance you might get rejected. And that fear of rejection is what might be holding a lot of people back there. So I think that ultimately, if you are not allowing yourself to kind of move forward and you're not allowing yourself to actually ask them out, and you're just stuck in this place where you're trying to make small steps to get there, you're only going to set yourself up in the friend zone. Darkest Night said, red pill isn't the full truth. It's like pulling the curtain and giving a peek. Black pill is opening the curtains to reveal the ugly truth. I mean, like I said, I would say check out my video on black pill. I talk about red pill and blue pill there, and some of the problems I think that exist within the black pill philosophy. So check it out if you want a full scope of my perspective on the black pill thing that Darkest Night is talking about. Point number 3 is this, guys. You can't stop stalking them on social media. Sometimes people say, no, I know my crush doesn't like me, but I can't help but look at them online. I have to keep observing them. I have to keep watching them. I have to keep, staring at them and seeing anything they post. And when you obsess over that, when you obsess over looking at them on social media and you don't allow yourself to move on, well, then the problem really exists where, you're not allowing yourself to move back by your own means, by your own desires. So what do? Well, I think the solution is this. If you want to move on and you want to try to change things, then I think the best thing for you to do is to block them on social media. You have to stop following them. Otherwise, you're going to keep looking at their pictures and you're not going to allow yourself to just finally move on. Point number 4 is this, guys. You crave the attention that they give you. Sometimes the reason why people get so obsessed with their crushes and constantly, want to be around them despite knowing that their crush doesn't like them, is because their crush gives them attention. Their crush may look at them, or their crush may message. I bit my tongue. Crush may message them, or their crush may smile at them. And those little beacons of hope is what keeps you chasing that person. You may know that they don't want to date you. You may know that there isn't a chance there, but because they talk to you and because they give you some type of attention, that's what keeps pulling you in. So if you want to stop using that as an excuse, you need to be able to create a bit of distance between the two of you. That might mean no longer hanging out with them, or it might even mean no longer talking to them, depending on how much you feel pulled into that situation. And the 5th situation is this, guys. You don't think that you deserve better. So many people beat themselves up and are their own worst critic. So many people feel that they're not good enough, or that they can't accomplish anything, or they're never going to find someone that likes them. So they like their crush and that's it. Why bother? Why bother pursuing anyone else if it's not going to work? And I think that you have to remember that you are so special and unique, that there's no one else like you, that you bring something to the table that no one else does. And I think that once you can start recognizing that, you would allow yourself to realize, wow, I am good enough. I am someone worthy of dating. I am someone worth getting to know. And now you can put yourself forward and you can really start working on yourselves and really start working on pursuing people outside of just that single crush you may be a bit obsessed with. And now, guys, it is time for our mindful moment. I think this has been an interesting live stream. We've covered these points, but there's been a lot of back and forth in the chat with the people. I know that there's a lot of talk about Black Pill. There's a lot of talk about Discord, a lot of talk about everything. But I hope we can at least come together now for this mindful moment. I want us to kind of all take a step back from all the conversations we're having and think deeper now. This is going to be a moment of reflection, guys. I want us to close our eyes in this reflection, and I want us to go back to the point that we were talking about earlier. And I want you to realize for yourself that you are good enough, that what you bring to the table is good enough, that you don't have to be someone else. You don't have to accomplish something to be accepted for who you are. We all are worthy of being accepted for who we are. Does that mean that we're perfect? No. Does that mean that there are things we can work on that we should work on? Yes, we should work on them. But we at least should recognize that you're special, you're unique, and you're the only one of you that exists. So let's come together, guys. Let's close our eyes and let's think about the fact that we are all deserving of kindness from those around us. We're all deserving of that, right? And for those of us that don't treat us with kindness, let's reflect on that and understand why. But at its core, just for being who you are, you deserve kindness from others, right? Just for being you. Just for the height you're at, the way that you look, the way that you sound, the race you are, how much money you have, how much acne you have, all that comes secondary to the fact that you are special just the way you are. So let's close our eyes and we're going to listen to the sound of the bell and reflect on that and know for ourselves that we are special just the way we are. Hamish, thank you for the £2 super chat. Hamish said, be positive, love will find you. I love that, Hamish. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this live stream. I hope it was helpful. I hope that this discussion of the different excuses can help you reflect on some of the things you might have told yourself that have kept you in the position you are. And I want you to know that as you work towards being your best self, there are things you can improve and things you can work on. I'm going to link up over here videos that you can check out to continue your journey towards being your best self. But otherwise, thank you guys again for being in this live stream. Head on over to Instagram for the Instagram after party, and I will catch you guys over there. As always, love and peace. I'll see you guys next time.